Speech is the currency of politics. Democratic politics begins when politicians have to stand before an audience and make a speech. In tyrannies, there's no need for politicians to make a speech because they don't really need to persuade anybody. They simply tell them what to do. But democracy and speech begin at the same moment in Greece with the funeral oration of Pericles. And speeches are just about the only thing that remain unchanged in politics from 20-odd centuries ago. The speech today still really counts. Look at the way all politicians communicate in democracies. It's through the political speech. So understanding how these speeches work, what they do, what the politician is doing when they're communicating with us is absolutely critical for our understanding of politics. These days, especially in Western societies, we're going through a period of lack of confidence in our own politics. There's lots of criticism that democracy isn't working as it should. Lots of people are being left out. In this book, I tell a much more optimistic story than that. I tell the story of democracy and speech as a pair. They're born together and they run together throughout. I analysed 25 of the finest and greatest speeches ever. Not all of them nice ones, but great ones. And the story that emerges out of those 25 speeches is a story of progress and justice. The speeches, think of Martin Luther King and the March on Washington in 1963, are all given at moments of great gravity, and they're all naming an injustice, and they all tell us something about how to meet that injustice. Martin Luther King defines the terrible blight on America of slavery and segregation, and he tells America how to put this right. And it's a moment of great rhetorical beauty. It's probably the greatest speech in the book, along with Churchill's wonderful speeches in the House of Commons in the summer of 1940, when the British nation was in peril in the Battle of Britain. But all of the speeches name an injustice and tell us how to meet it. And that is what democratic politics at its best can do. So the finest rhetoric in the world, all of the speeches I consider, are also the best that democratic politics can do. And I then go on to show that democratic politics is the only possible answer to the problems that societies face. It's always tempting to think there is a shortcut through the slow grind of politics, do something quicker, faster. And populism in the world is the latest manifestation of that hope that you don't need to bother with democratic politics, that there's a populist leader who can somehow intuit the will of the people and tell us what to do. This is a fantasy, and as I show later in the book, it can be a dangerous fantasy. We have to resume our love affair with democratic politics, and the only way we can do that is if we speak about politics well, in eloquent, fine, noble words. This book is full of those eloquent, fine and noble words, and most of them are not written by me.